We'll call the school board meeting for December 15th to order. Please, Barb, would you call the roll?
Certainly, Board Chair Hepner.
Here.
Vice Chair Patak.
Here.
Clerk O'Loughlin.
Here.
Treasurer Burbach.
Here.
Director Buchholz. Director Lehman.
Here.
Director Pearson.
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Flags over that way. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our district mission, Mike?
The mission of Stillwater Area Public Schools in partnership with students, family, and community is to develop curious individuals who are active and engaged leaders in an ever-changing world by challenging all students as they travel along their personalized learning pathways.
Thank you. Our board goals for 2016-17, as board members, we are morally and legally responsible for an equitable and quality education for each and every student in our district. As board members, we ensure decisions are made in the interest of all students, E21, and for future generations impacted by our actions. 1, we will partner with administration to assure all students are provided equitable opportunities to reach their maximum potential. 2, we will participate in efforts that support student and community engagement. 3, we will direct district efforts to develop a balanced budget for 2017-18. And 4, we will exercise effective self-governance. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Tom and Shelley, thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have 2 items on the consent agenda tonight. The first is the Human Resources Personnel Report, and the second is the reinstatement of Stephen Stagecoach LLC property lease. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have 1 action item, is the naming of the middle schools. Carissa, are you going to take that?
I sure will.
Okay.
Good evening, board members. I'm here tonight to talk with you about naming our middle schools. We first talked about this back in November when I came in and presented to you the 3 names that our committee had recommended for your consideration. At that time, board members asked that we gather a little bit more feedback. So what you have in front of you tonight is a chart that shows the results of the committee ranking, as well as a community poll that we conducted on our website with 899 respondents. And then we also did a separate student survey where we asked students to weigh in with their feedback. So you have this information before you tonight. For the public, remind you that the names that came from the committee were Stillwater Area North Middle School and Stillwater Area South Middle School, St. Croix North Middle School and St. Croix South Middle School, and Stillwater Middle School and Oakland Middle School. The committee did feel that it was very important to try to unify the 18 diverse communities that make up our district in the naming process. And in the original process, when we submitted a request for names, we had a lot of people who strongly indicated that they liked the traditional names. So that was why Oakland and Stillwater were in the mix from your committee. So at this time, administration is asking the board members to select names for their middle school.
Okay, I guess we'll just open it up to discussion and see if anybody's got any thoughts they'd like to share before we take a motion to approve something.
I've got some I'd like to share. I like Stillwater Middle School and Oakland Middle School. I think what you're going to have, regardless of which names you choose, is when you're going to talk to most people in conversation, if you would say Stillwater Area North or North Middle School, they're going to say, oh, you mean Stillwater or you mean Oakland. So I think that's what's going to be the fallback. Obviously, it's the most popular among our recent students.
I guess I agree with what Mike said. I think the comment that we heard from the gentleman, I think it was maybe an email that talked about, or maybe it was from the student who said we didn't really understand what Oakland meant, and I took that more of as a teaching moment for all of us so that they can, we can explain why we have Oakland. Not that it's bad, but it's an opportunity for us to educate how we came up with that name. So I also support Stillwater Middle School and Oakland Middle School.
I do as well. I had a chance to talk to a handful of current and former students that attended Oakland, as well as future Oakland students, a bunch of fifth graders in our elementary schools. And what I heard the students say was that there was a real strong affinity to Oakland, and especially what I heard some of the former Oakland students saying is that there was just a tremendous amount of pride in that school, and that where maybe in years past the schools haven't always worked as collaboratively or in tandem and in support of one another, it seems to be the consensus from parents and community members that that very much is the case now. And I attribute that to our current leadership there. So I think that, and especially here, it says that the student survey, 65% of our students also like keeping the original names, and I do support that choice.
Any other thoughts, or does somebody want to make that?
I'll make a motion to name the new middle schools Stillwater Middle School and Oakland Middle School.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of Stillwater Middle School and Oakland Middle School going forward, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Thank you, I guess we've got it. Thanks to the committee also. I don't know if we send out thank you, something like that, but it's always nice to have a committee willing to work on that stuff. Could I get a motion to adjourn the business portion?
So moved.
Thank you, a second. Thank you, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we'll go to the learning session.